Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. As a legacy character on General Hospital, Maxie Jones is such a fan favorite that whenever the character is off the show for any period of time, viewers notice and aren't happy about it. The daughter of popular super couple Frisco Jones and Felicia Jones, Maxie was played by a series of child actors until Robin Richards was cast in 1993. After her departure in 2004, Kirsten Storms was cast as Maxie, debuting in May 2005. However, during one of her medical leaves in 2011, Storms was temporarily recast with Jen Lilly for nearly a year, and then later, in 2016, Molly Burnett stepped into the role of Maxie for a month when Storms required more time off. Although Storms had to take a couple of days off due to the flu in 2018, she later signed a new contract with GH so that Maxie's story can continue. Although there was another temporary recast in December 2023 when Nicole Padgett filled in for her. Born Mariah Maximiliana Jones, Maxie is named after her maternal great-grandparents, Maximilian and Maria Ramirez. While just a few years old, Maxie suffered from Kawasaki disease and received a heart transplant from her cousin, BJ Jones. As a teenager, Maxie's first crush was on Lucky Spencer, but she lost her virginity to Kyle Ratcliffe, who recorded it and posted it on the internet. Maxie's relationship with undercover cop Jesse Biaudry ended when he was killed in the line of duty, and she went on a downward spiral of hard partying. She turned to Lucky for comfort, and they slept together, despite his being married to Liz at the time. She also got involved with Cooper Barrett, but when she feared he was falling for Lulu, seduced his army buddy Logan Hayes for revenge. After reuniting with Cooper, they went on the run when he was a suspect in Georgie Jones' murder. He was found dead hanging in his room, but Maxie was insistent Cooper was innocent and worked with Damian Spinelli to prove that Diego Alcazar was the real killer. Ultimately, Maxie and Lulu Spencer went from enemies to best friends and moved in together. Maxie tried to keep Spinelli in the friend zone, but they soon gave in to the feelings they both had for each other. She accepted his proposal, but when he saw how nervous she was about actually tying the knot, he agreed to have a knot wedding instead. Unfortunately, Maxie sleeping with the artist Robert Frank destroyed her relationship with Spinelli. She attempted to flirt with Dr. Matt Hunter to get Spinelli to fight to win her back, but the plan backfired when he just broke up with her instead. However, Maxie's relationship with Matt fell apart when he was suspected of killing Lisa Niles. She married him to avoid having to testify against him, but Matt remembered his crime and confessed. Maxie tried to turn her life around by offering to be Dante and Lulu's surrogate, but it turned out the baby she was carrying was actually Spinelli's from a heartbroken one-night stand. She initially let Dante and Lulu have the baby, but when the truth came out and a custody battle occurred, the judge granted custody of the baby girl to Spinelli. Agreeing to name the infant after Maxie's sister, Spinelli took Georgie with him and Ellie when they moved to Portland. Maxie left Port Charles to get her head together and returned with a new boyfriend, Levi Dunkelman. But she also found herself drawn to her handsome subletter, Nathan West. It turned out that Levi was really a con man after the Aztec jewels belonging to her mother, Felicia Jones, and Maxie dumped him. She and Nathan eventually made their relationship official and finally tied the knot on New Year's Day, 2017. However, shortly after the wedding, Maxie left for Portland on business for a few months, and although Nathan was excited for her to return in May, it was revealed that she had extended her trip. When she eventually returned to her husband, she was concerned to hear that he'd been spending an awful lot of time with nurse Amy Driscoll. Thankfully, they were just working on the advice book Ask Man Landers, so she had nothing to be jealous of. At Thanksgiving, Maxie revealed to Nathan that he was going to become a daddy, but shortly after the new year in 2018, Nathan was shot and killed by Cesar Faison, leaving her heartbroken and alone. Peter August gave Maxie a shoulder to lean on and even was the one to deliver her son James on the side of the road when they couldn't get to the hospital in time. But the revelation that Peter is really Nathan's brother, Henrik Faison, left Maxie shattered once again, and she vowed revenge on him for the betrayal. But just as Maxie was able to repair her relationship with BFF Lulu after her story had led to Cesar resurfacing and Nathan's death, she also found herself drawn back to Peter. The two tried to deny their feelings for a long time, but eventually began dating for real. And even as Peter struggled to cover his past evil deeds, Maxie found herself pregnant with his baby and planning their wedding. Folks did try to warn Maxie about Peter, but she wouldn't listen. Maxie was heartbroken when Lulu was nearly killed in an explosion at the Floating Rib and sent off in a coma to a clinic to recover, which meant that she wasn't around to be Maxie's maid of honor. Not that the wedding actually happened, since Albrecht interrupted and Peter's crimes were finally exposed. Horrified, Maxie wanted nothing to do with Peter anymore and teamed up with his sister, Britt Westbourne, to trick him into thinking she'd miscarried to keep him away from her baby. Her plan then expanded to giving her daughter to Brooke Lynn Ashton, who was faking her own pregnancy. Although the scheme was complicated by Peter disposing of the real nurse Clove Jennings, Maxie was planning to hire and replacing her with a nurse working for him. At a secluded cabin, Maxie managed to thwart the evil nurse and ran off into the woods, where she went into labor and delivered baby Louise with the help of Dr. Austin Holt, who was hiking in the area. Nurse Jennings knocked him out and tried to get the baby, but Maxie lured her into a trap and then called Brooke Lynn to have her pick up her newborn baby. Later, at the hospital, Maxie claimed that the nurse had stolen her baby for Peter. She was found dead and Peter had gone missing. Maxie found herself spending too much time at the Quartermaines with her daughter and decided she had to leave Port Charles or risk blowing her baby swap lie apart. On her way back to Port Charles, Maxie stopped in Nixon Falls to visit Nina and was later horrified when Nina warned that Peter was on her trail. When Gladys Corbin overheard Maxie and Brooke Lynn talking about Bailey, they raced to keep her quiet. But after Harrison Chase discovered the truth and Brooke Lynn changed her lie to make him the baby daddy, Maxie warned they'd have to keep up the charade until Peter was behind bars for good. Unfortunately, although Peter was poisoned behind bars, he survived, and while being transported from the hospital to Pentonville, the villain managed to escape and kidnap Louise. While trying to keep Austin from figuring out the truth, she kissed him. But when she found out that he was indirectly responsible for helping Victor Cassidy figure out who Bailey really was, she turned her back on the doc. With Louise missing, Maxie finally confessed her scheme to everyone and privately met with Peter on the docks, where he urged her to come away with him and Louise to be a family. She managed to convince him to leave Louise behind and left town with the villain by herself. While in Switzerland, Maxie managed to secretly leave a message for Anna Devane, which helped everyone track them down. After Maxie gave Peter the slip, she ran into Felicia, and in the ensuing battle, Felicia gained the upper hand and struck him with a tire iron, killing him. Finally reunited with her daughter, Maxie honored Brooke Lynn's sacrifice by renaming the child Bailey Louise. Maxie told Austin she was ready to start a relationship with him, but soon became convinced the doctor was hiding something, and she ultimately called it quits with him. She was also stunned when she found out that newcomer Cody Bell could be Mac's son. With Lucy dead, Maxie teamed up with Bobby Spencer to plan the 2023 Nurses Ball, and was shocked to later learn that Lucy was really alive, just in hiding. She then drove Maxie nuts trying to take over the ball remotely. Maxie also joined up with Brooke Lynn and Sasha to help plan Michael and Willow's wedding day. Despite how things went the last time deception was featured on Home and Heart, Maxie persuaded Sasha to go back to plug the Deceptor, and things worked out much better this time. When Brooke Lynn confessed to downloading a file on the Deceptor, she claimed it was for company business, but when Tracy Quartermaine took them to court, Maxie and Lucy realized she'd stolen the confidential information for her grandmother. Maxie fired Brooke Lynn and found herself in dire financial straits, but refused Felicia's offer to help her out with the bills and the rent on her new house. Dante agreed to lease Maxie his and Lulu's old house so she'd have more room for her and the kids. Tracy had given Brooke Lynn control of Deception, but learning of Maxie's money troubles, Brooke Lynn was determined to find a way to get the company away from Tracy and back into Maxie's hands. When Spinelli showed up on Christmas Eve needing a place to live while his apartment was under repair, Maxie agreed to let him stay and accept rent, not realizing it was a scheme he and Felicia had cooked up. Living together again brought the couple closer together, and they confessed they'd fallen back in love with each other. But after Spinelli came clean about helping with the rent, Maxie felt betrayed and angry. When Cody and Sasha apologized for pushing them back together, Maxie forgave them and they urged her to forgive Spinelli too. She went to talk to him, but there was a slight delay as they dealt with Jason's sudden return from the dead. But in the end, they shared another kiss and things looked better. Things at work, though, not so much, as Sasha quit her job as the face of deception, and they scrambled to sign Blaze to a contract to replace her. They also needed to find a new spokesperson for Home and Heart because Lucy was no good and eventually settled on Lloyd. Felicia urged Maxie to give Spinelli another chance, and after they attended Brooke Lynn and Chase's wedding, she invited him to move back in. In June, Maxie was thrilled when Mac came home from his assignment and reunited with the family. After taking charge and doing damage control when an Invader article outed Blaze and exposed Natalia's homophobia, Maxie then reeled when Cody confessed he'd been lying and was actually Mac's son. Mac didn't react well to learning the truth, but after James went missing and Cody rescued him, he softened his stance, to Maxie's relief. Maxie was heartbroken to learn that Sam had died unexpectedly and helped with funeral arrangements. When Sasha told her she was pregnant, Maxie was relieved to learn Cody wasn't the father and supported that Sasha worried about what to do with her baby. After James claimed a strange lady entered their home, Maxie was stunned when he identified her with a picture of Lulu. Maxie called Dant, who revealed that Lulu had come out of her coma and escaped the facility to come home. Maxie was thrilled to finally reconnect with her best friend, and they caught up. As 2025 began, Maxie busied herself with work at Deception. Advising Lulu, she was overqualified for the job as Brooke Lynn's assistant. Given their past, Brooke Lynn wasn't thrilled by the idea either, but Tracy overruled them both and hired Lulu anyway. Maxie supported Sasha as she decided to keep her child, but warned her friend that people believed Jason was the baby daddy. She also agreed to help Drew decorate his new home and tried to set her newly returned cousin Lucas up with a male model. Stay tuned to see how Maxie's story continues.